Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Listen, we have been rocking out throughout the month of March. Welcome back to the Start to Six Figure 3-day virtual shift conference kickoff. I am your conference host and your vision coach, Latoya Early, here supporting Christian female startup coaches as I help you start, grow, and monetize your coaching business from start to six figures in your niche. So listen, I hope that you've had the chance to rock out with us over the past few weeks. Over the past few weeks, we've had the opportunity to speak to several of our six-figure influencers. And I am so excited to speak with this hilarious yet successful gentleman on tonight, JWil, as he's going to talk about shifting your ministry. So you ladies already know, come on in. Let us know who you are. Let us know that you're there. Let us know what type of coach you are. If you know an entrepreneur who could benefit from learning how to mix business and ministry, because for some odd reason, we find it difficult to bring Jesus into the mix. So if you know someone who is building a kingdom business and they could benefit from some of the nuggets that we're going to share on tonight, make sure you tag them in the comments. All right, so look, y'all know I can't do this by myself. Y'all know I got to bring the infamous concierge, six-figure concierge up to the stage. So I am excited to bring our six-figure concierge up to the stage and say what's going on,
What's
so she can
going
come in,
on?
and talk to the people.
Hey,
Talk to the
hey,
people.
hey. Talk to the people. Hey, people. Hi,
You know,
everybody.
I got
We
to be real
missed you
petty
guys.
right now.
Oh,
Real,
Lord.
real. I got to be real petty.
You see the mug? Y'all see the mug? Listen, I can't wait
You
to get
know.
my mug because if I had my mug, I would be petty as well. We would just be some petty partners on here. Y'all saw the mug. You know it's coming. So
It's coming.
if you saw the mug, you know it's coming.
It's coming. Listen, we are counting down the days. The website has a countdown timer on it. And every time I go to the timer, I'm like, really? This is how much time we have left. The month of March has flown by. But we've had some pretty good people come on for the month of March.
Listen, we've had some amazing conversations, some amazing coaches, some amazing panelists come on, which is why I'm excited about tonight because, we've had nothing but small glimpses of what's coming. We've had Ciara come on and Trasetta come on, and we've had Miss Beverly come on, and we've had Meech come on. Meech going to tell y'all he was the best panelist we've had. We've seen quite a few people that have made some significant impacts and just showed us what's coming in the conference.
Yeah, yeah. You know what though? I'm excited. Oh, I'm excited about that. I didn't mean to do that. We're excited about that because we have some dynamic influencers, and each one of them brings something different to the table. What I'm excited about most is, a lot of times when you're hosting a conference, people think, here we go, the second best male panelist. We're not gonna start this tonight between you and JWil, okay? We're not gonna start it. No, this is gonna be quite entertaining tonight. So I hope y'all ready. But what I love about what we're doing here for the conference is, most times when you go to conference, you're going to something and you feel like you're gonna spend hours of being encouraged. You feel like you're gonna spend hours of someone just talking at you. But one of the things I just love highlighting about this 3-day event is that it's a working conference. Listen, I'm not here to blow bubbles and fluff your pillows. Like that's not what I do for a living. That is not how Chase Gray is established. We blow bubbles with the kids on a hot Saturday, not during not when it's time for business, right? So I'm excited about that. That's my favorite part, is that this is a 3-day virtual working conference. So if you've been looking for that type of training, that type of shift, that type of support, I encourage you. Listen, you need to make sure you're joining us.
So when you say working conference, you mean like I'm going to have a notebook or I'm going to have some worksheets and I'm going to be following along and taking notes as they're talking?
Listen, let me tell you about this workbook. let me just tell you real quick about this workbook that we over here designing, because I'm like, how many pages is this workbook? We getting ready to just definitely repackage and resell because there's so much content in the workbook. We have the speakers have given us worksheets that are, of course, that go along with their presentation, where you can plug and play. And y'all know I'm not even the type to be giving plug and play strategies, but for certain workshops, we're going to have that option. I'm excited about it because not only are you going to get support in your social media and your public speaking, writing your book, learning how to bring ministry into the marketplace, but we're going to talk about your messaging. I'm teaching you the 4-step formula on how to create a powerful message that speaks directly to your ideal client. Sometimes we feel like, oh, I'm not getting clients, I can't do this. And that isn't so. Once we get clarity on your messaging, we get clarity on your ideal client. Those are 2 workshops I'm gonna be working on. I guarantee you it'll change your business.
So I'm gonna get this workbook that I'm gonna follow along with. And then if I'm VIP, I get some additional time with the panelists, right?
Absolutely.
So
So,
if
yep, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, like, if you like so VIP sounds like an extra, like, so what happens in VIP? Because I'm just so curious. I'm just excited.
So VIP, not only will you receive an amazing VIP box, compliments of Chase Grape that's gonna have some really cool that's gonna have some really nice gifts in them, but you're gonna get that in the mail. One of the things you're gonna get is my new book. Oh, wait, it's not my turn yet. I'll talk about that next week. You're gonna get the VIP box. You're going to get intimate time with the facilitator to answer your questions. So if you're like, listen, Jay, you telling me I can bring God into my business, but what do you do when people are turning away from your business because they say it's too holy or it's too Christian, right? How do you overcome those type of barriers? You're saying, Latoya, how do I bring Christianity into my message? How do I still price accordingly? How do I still offer 4-figure pricing and not feel blamed or not feeling guilt because this is supposed to be ministry? Like, these are the type of real life questions you're going to be able to ask us during each time with the workshop facilitators, so that you can get that real-time hands-on support.
And I think that that's amazing. And I just want y'all to know that for VIP, I think we checked it out right before we got on here, and we have very limited VIP seats available.
Like legit.
Like less than 5 seats. So I urge you to come into this conference VIP, because like she said, having that additional time with that panelist to ask the questions that you have been dying to get answered, what better place to get that done than at this particular conference?
Listen, I'm not even gonna hold you up. When I looked at the numbers today, before we came live, I didn't know that our numbers, like, we have less than 5 seats available for VIP, right? Less than 5 seats. So of course I want to take the time to congratulate Winnell for making the decision and saying, listen, I am ready to take my coaching business to the next level. And what I love about her is that she's a certified coach. She's a certified coach, rocking out in her business, doing what God has called her to do. And it was not even a second thought when we were, creating dialogue with each other, talking about the conference. And she's like, oh, I'm telling y'all, in 2 seconds, I looked up and she was booked. She was registered. So you want to have that same type of enthusiasm, because there is someone who's waiting for you to grow in a particular area so that you can be in the proper position for them when they hire you. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to. So congratulations to you, Winnell, for making the decision to take your coaching business from start to 6 figures in your niche.
We can't wait to see you there.
Can't wait. Okay, cool. So I think,
Yeah, because we could do this all day.
we could just sit here and talk, because that's just but we're not, because we have a very important person on the line, and he didn't already said your time is ticking, so you need to come on, because I got other stuff to do. So we're gonna go ahead and bring up our Shift Your Ministry facilitator, JWil, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just let our concierge do what she do, because y'all know me. Y'all know.
Hey, right, we know you, so we
Listen,
know you.
I'm just gonna sit back here and sip my tea. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna sit back and sip my tea.
Well, hello. How are you?
What's up? What's up, man? I'm good. How y'all feeling? I see y'all having a good time already tonight.
Always. So we just hope that you, because I think that somebody had. He
We
came
brought
through with the petty too.
Inspire Guys people. We do it's
Y'all play too
We
much.
having a mug war. Let me see what's
Did
on
y'all
my
did,
desk.
did y'all just see that?
you can't play with me. But mine ain't coming in the VIP package, so it's the six-figure one all day long.
All right. So listen, for the people who may not know who you are, I know Toya gave an amazing introduction. For the people who don't know who you are, can you just tell us more about you and what you do?
Yeah, man. My name is JWil. I am I guess you could say a hybrid entrepreneur. I still work a corporate job, so I'm more of an entrepreneur, if you will. So I enjoy working my corporate job and for a Fortune 50 company. But today I'm speaking on behalf of myself and my business, Inspire Guys People, which is really kind of started as a podcast, but growing as a brand in general. I also dabble into Christian music and some other things, but really my passion now is inspire God's people in all things related to that brand. And really inspiring God's people is my purpose in general. So I like to tell people that whatever I'm doing, I'm inspiring God's people, or at least that's the goal.
That's awesome. So how did you get started with that?
Man, so for me, a lot of times things are just kind of organically over time progressing. I believe in the process, so I'm one of those people that does not believe in like a get rich quick or overnight type of situation. So it really like kind of snowballed from at one point when I had Bellwether Fashion. I was doing a fashion thing and wanted to kind of take a break. And then God ended up giving me this idea for Christian lifestyle brand, which is kind of still a thing in my mind. But I really started going from like fashion to really focusing on wanting to help other people. And one day it just popped in my mind. Inspire God's People did it as an album. I have a album song on Apple Music and all those things that you can listen to. And then the more and more I got into it, I really found out that my purpose was to inspire God's people. So I used to struggle with the fact that people always wanted to copy me. I'm a person that loves my individuality and love being creative and unique. And it was frustrating throughout my life because every time I go down a path and start doing something, people would kind of latch on to me, and then I'd be like, man, like it seemed like you want to do what I'm doing, right? And the Lord really dealt with me and helped me to understand the gift in that is that I am, He blessed me to be a guide. So it's like Mr. Miyagi and Daniel-san. Like Daniel wants to learn karate, he's gonna go to Mr. Miyagi, and so I have to be comfortable with the fact that people are not copying me to copy me; it's that they are inspired by me. And the Lord showed me that I was a catalyst. So really, from there, I just started embracing it, and that's really kind of over the course of a few years, it progressed. And the last 2.5 years, I've been really embracing the fact that that's really my purpose.
That's awesome. You said Mr. Miyagi. I'm over here like wax on,
See,
wax off.
don't get me
So you
started.
okay? We don't have to because I'm going to be good tonight. I promise. Because one thing I learned is that I don't want to give too much away of what's to come. I want them to be able to come in and get some things from you that they can't get in this live. So I'm going to be good tonight. I promise
You know
myself.
what? The well ain't gonna run dry, so we good. It's
Well, come
all we
on
gotta do,
in.
Listen, let
we
me
just
tell
gotta do
let me
whatever's
throw
right.
in a quick disclaimer real quick. I don't know how Demetrious and JWil ended up on the timeline consecutively, but this should have been broken up because when you have two men who are extremely confident about who they are, what they do, we're gonna have
Meech
to.
more confident than I am.
You think so? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. But listen, I love it. I kind of want to rewind just a little bit when you talk about people, and we've had this conversation before. I'm just so honored. JWil always, invites me onto his podcast, and we just get a chance to just kick it and talk about business. But one of the things that I admired about what you just said is how God had to do some work in you, right? You said that you felt like everyone was trying to copy you, And you was like, no, God had to handle me with that. And I think that especially in the coaching industry, this is a big deal because we're all coaches. We're all trying to do something and move forward and implement our own, gift and special abilities. And we're always looking and saying, but man, they're doing something like me, or they're trying to be like me. And knowing how to check yourself, because listen, we are all here to inspire God's people. And so to know that instead of looking at this through a negative way, you were able to shift your perspective and say, you know what, but I am here to inspire God's people. So even with my ideas, if that inspired you, I've done my assignment and I've done what I was supposed to do. So I appreciate that, because that's something that we need to hear in this industry. We're not here to compete. We're not here to combat. We're here to inspire one another. So if you want to grow, you need to latch onto someone who's doing something that you desire to do versus looking at it as they're doing what I am doing.
Yeah. And what looks like a threat oftentimes is really a blessing. And that's the thing. Like, we can live our life on defense, and kind of like how I just jokingly said, the well doesn't run dry. I think a lot of times we can kind of walk in our gifts and our purpose like someone else could take what God naturally called you to do. And they really can't. Like, they can't be you. So there are people who will come along in life and try to copy, maybe with the negative intent. But if you're doing what God called you to do, like, how many times has LeBron James dribbled a basketball? You can't even count the number of times that he's dribbled a basketball. So he doesn't have to walk down the court and be afraid to dribble, because it's like, oh man, everybody dribbling. It's like, no, you got to do what God called you to do, and understand that if you inspire and spark some things along the way, it really is a blessing, because people, good people with good character, always remember the people who helped them along the way. And some of us can't even build a real network because we're too afraid to help somebody. But a lot of times it's through the help that later on in life you might find yourself needing something. And what if you inspired a coach who went on to be seven figures, and then 5 years later you found yourself in a tough spot? Who do you think you could call on, that coach that helped you? You think they're going to answer your call and want to help you out? Most definitely. So we have to stop looking at each other as threats and realize that at the end of the day, God has gifted us individually with things that no man can take away from us.
And that's awesome. I'm just like, I have my pen tonight, so I like to write down nuggets and jewels. Like, I write down little nuggets. So I appreciate all the nuggets. So what has understanding, and I know Toya kind of hit this a little bit earlier, understanding like business and ministry. What has been the biggest struggle in your business so far?
Man, you know what? I tell people it's a sign here on the wall in my studio that says success is built on failure. So for me, I'm not a person that's shy about the fact that I've really failed my way to success. But the reason I've been able to fail my way to success is because I'm not afraid to fail. So sometimes we can kind of hold ourselves up because we want to be right every time. So for me, to be specific, some of the struggles have been, again, like I said, feeling maybe afraid to go all out because people are always watching, and you're trying to like do something. Let's say you have this innovative idea and you like, well, I don't want to jump out there and do it because then everybody's going to do it. When I had a fashion brand, I could tell you it was a really tough time because I was stepping out and I was a part of garment organizations. I was going out and studying really like materials and fabrics and taking fashion classes after work. I was really serious about it. And then people would call me and they want to just jump on. So a lot of times the struggle was like, man, I've done all this work and people want to just latch on to me and try to get the benefit without putting in the work. But again, that was all part of me understanding the purpose for the work, because the guy knows more than the student. And that's why you can be a guide. And so I started understanding the benefits of being a guide and being an expert is that people will always need to come to you for something. That's just one of the issues. I would say definitely, like a lot of people, struggling with the fact that if you're trying to do something the right way, it doesn't seem to go viral, let's call it, right? So if you're, when I think about my podcast, it's not a gossip show. We don't talk about trending topics. It really is a show to balance faith and business, to guide you to your purpose. And so a person that's going to listen has to be a person that's really serious about self-development and growth. And some of the struggles is like you look around the world and you see a podcast with 30,000 views, 1,000,000 views or listens, and all they talking about is Kanye West and Kim Kardashian divorced and this, and this. And for me, I'm like, man, that doesn't make me any money. Like that doesn't like get me anywhere to talk about them. So those are some of the constant struggles, right? You know, where you're like trying to be focused on what God called you to do. But God has blessed me to be able to find success along the way in the midst of the failures that kind of like encourage me that I'm on the right path. Like, okay, you're doing the right thing. Everybody might not see everything, but God is doing it. So I think that just to touch on that, that's the last thing I'll say on that. I had to shift my mind from like understanding what real success was versus superficial success. So a lot of people are like so caught up these days in looking like successful. And it's like you could try so hard to look successful that you're really not successful. And, you know, I started paying attention to people I knew who were wealthy and really successful in my life. And I'm like, dang, she got 60 followers on Facebook. She got 100 followers on Instagram and she a millionaire. Like, that sounds good to me. I'd rather go that route. So those are some of the things I think we all struggle with our businesses, especially when we believers.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I just keep hearing you talk about failure. And I guess I'm a person who doesn't believe that I don't think failure is final. Failure isn't final. I think it's an opportunity. It's like a moment that says, okay, I had a shortcoming, but it's about you not making failure final for yourself. It's like, okay, hey, this happened. I have a motto that says, so what, now what? So what, it happened, but now what do I do? How do I use this moment to catapult me to where I'm trying to go next? Or, you know, what's next for me? Because this isn't it. I can't sit in this moment. Kind of makes me think about, you know, when Meech was talking about, you know, your mindset preparing you for the moment. That moment where it feels like it's failure is literally preparing you for the greater. So I hear that failure piece of it, but I can't hear that failure is ever final. It's never final. It's like a moment, but you got to keep moving. So I respect that.
No, I agree. I mean, to me, failure is just part of the process. It's like you can't be afraid of it. And the other thing too is like, you know, when you start from nothing, it's like I've been there before. So it's not really that scary. You know, I don't want to go back, but I mean, it's not like, you know, when you've experienced something for yourself, I think that's another important thing. And when I talk about the process and not being afraid to fail in real success versus superficial success is like winning the lottery. Like you look successful, you act successful, you got money, you could dress. It's not real success because you can't put it in a book and tell me what you did to get it. You can't give me any principles. When you have those principles, then failure is just part of the process, and you understand that, like, oh yeah, like I know how to get around that. So even if it happens, I could recover from it.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I like that because one of the things that, you know, I push is, you know, failure is falling and not getting back up. So the moment that you fall in business, the moment that you fall, you know, in your career or whatever it is that you're pursuing, if you lay there, then absolutely you're a failure. Like
Yeah.
absolutely, hands down. But the moment that you get back up, you know, that's when you're able to now turn that failure into success. And to your point of social media, that just hit the nail on the head because I think that, you know, we're the industry and the world that we're in, social media, man, is so loud. And so if you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, I'm talking about there's so many people just yelling for your attention in some kind of way. And what I want to encourage you to do is to stay focused on the message. Stay focused on the assignment. As Jay just said, listen, there are people out here making millions of dollars who Instagram looks terrible, you
Yeah.
know, or who don't have a lot of followers. And, you know, I had to pull myself out of that. You know, listen, Latoya, we're here to provide a service. I'm not here. And we talk about, you know, popularity over profit all day, popularity over purpose. Which one are you going to commit to? Are you going to commit to being popular or are you going to commit to fulfilling purpose? I've decided to commit to fulfilling purpose. So if that means that I only get 3 likes a day, then I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, purpose brings profit. And so if that's where I need to sit so that I can be the example to other coaches and say, hey, you don't need 5 million people to make $5 million, then I'll be the example. I'm okay with that.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take that too. I definitely would take the purpose because I don't even necessarily need the popularity. I'm all right with that because I can go on vacation and you don't even got to know where I'm at. I'm all right.
For real.
So, um, so what is your go-to scripture in your business? What's your go-to?
You know what? That question is a tough question for me because it's really all of them. That's like when, like it's really all of them. But for me, it depends on the season. One of my favorite scriptures ever, is Ecclesiastes 1:18, that says, "With much wisdom comes much grief." And so sometimes, I think when I think about wisdom, for me, that is really the foundation for success. Solomon, King Solomon, in the Bible could have asked for anything. He asked for wisdom. And, that really was a foundation to me of the success that God had for him and being the wisest man, right, in the Bible. But when you think about with wisdom comes much grief, what that helps me with is to understand that things always come in balance. So, like, some people chase success because they think success is going to make their life easier. And I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, so, we joked about like my time today, for instance, is like, okay, well, today I'm up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm getting things ready by 6:30, and really been working all day, have to fit in time to eat. And I still got work to do tonight, and I got to record a podcast. And when I think about all that, that's what success looks like for me. So the balance of that is like, with success comes much responsibility and a lot of tough days and things, right? Every day isn't like this for me, not every single day, but I'm in a super busy season. And so that scripture of much wisdom bringing much grief, somebody could ask, like, why would wisdom bring grief? Like, wisdom is a good thing. The reason it brings grief is because imagine you're in a room with 10 people and there's a meteor about to hit Earth in 10 minutes and you're the only one that knows it. Like, so you will be the only one in that room grieving because everyone else in their ignorance doesn't understand what's really happening. And so when I talk about something like success and understanding what real success looks like, sometimes honestly, I'm grieved because there are so many people around me that I want to help. And like I said, wanting to inspire God's people and give them principles, whether they be corporate or entrepreneurial, that I've learned, that I've applied in my life, and I know they work. But watching them want to sit up and watch a TikTok video of people dancing all day, it could grieve me sometimes because I'm like, yo, you watching them dance all day and you broke. Like, you watching them dance all day and you're not living in your purpose that God created you for. That grieves me. So yeah, that's a scripture that I often go to. And not to make it sound, it's not a negative scripture for me. It's a reminder of when I'm grieved, that sometimes that grief is coming because I know. And it's like, all right, you can shake it off. You just have to balance the fact that God has blessed you to know.
Yeah, I was having a conversation recently with somebody about their fear of success or the fear of failure, and I was saying it was because of the amount of work that they know that comes with that. Because it's so much easier when, for some people, when you're, especially when you're doing entrepreneurship or you're launching your business, or like you say, like with yourself, like you're working a 9 to 5 and still working, your other avenues. It's like, I know the work that's going to be required of me. And so sometimes people don't launch and they don't start before because they have that fear of the amount of work it's going to take. And not that I know I'm not going to be successful, but do I have the ability to put that much time into it? Or am I okay with that? Which I tell people, hey, you got to start hiring opportunities. You can't do it all. Bring somebody else in to help you, employ your opportunities and get some of your time back. But just understand that it's still yours to carry and that you have to carry the responsibility for it to be successful. So that's major. I actually love that scripture. That scripture in knowing, because you know what it takes. You know what's coming. You know what's going to happen. So there's a little bit of grief in knowing.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, I feel like you were just preaching and teaching the word. Well, come on then. All right. So, um, Okay, so I think you're giving us so much. I feel like I'm literally sitting in service. Like, okay, this man is just dropping nuggets and truths.
Appreciate it.
Listen, so I want to ask you, what can the attendees expect from your segment? But I think we're just getting so much word and wisdom. But you can still tell me, what can they expect from your segment at during the conference?
Yeah, you know what? It's some things are still brewing. It's I'm a very organic person, which could be a gift and a curse because when something is a couple of months away from me, I know a direction. I could tell you that anytime that I'm speaking, just like tonight, is going to be rooted in purpose. Like it's being rooted. Everything I do is to inspire God's people, and I'll say this: like one of the things I had to learn along the way was that you don't have to turn your purpose on and off. And sometimes, like, you think about like me working in corporate America, where it's like, working at a Fortune 50 organization is not like I walk through that organization. I'm like, hey, listen to my podcast or something like that. I've never told anyone that I work with. Actually, no, somebody called me last week, a person I've been working with probably for 7 years. And they were like, man, I saw you rapping on Facebook. Somebody shared something and they was like, so you do a bunch of other stuff. And so that's the only time I've even told someone I have a podcast at work. And the reason I'm saying that is because I don't have to talk about my purpose for people to know my purpose. It's applied in different ways. So, as a leader, I have a team. And with my team, I'm able to apply these same principles of inspiring God's people. I care about people. And so God has kind of shown me that you don't turn it on and off. And so as it relates to, what people can expect, from my session, it's going to be inspired. At the end of the day, I'm working on it, finalizing this framework that's really going to like spell it out, like in like these 5 steps. And I know we hear a lot of 5 steps, and steps are good, period. But I really feel like the Lord gave me something where you could clearly continue to apply it to your life. So I would say when you talk about shifting your ministry, I'm a believer in tangible information. So that's what you can expect from me through this session. It's not just motivation. It's not just inspiration in the sense of like, oh man, I'm rah rah. I'm going to actually leave you with steps and things that you can actually do. And if you apply them, you will literally have results. Like I stand by the things I talk about because they are not fake, they are not superficial, and they don't promise any quick, just add water. That's not what I'm about. So,
Yeah.
If you could cook, then we're gonna produce something good, It's like can't just add water to greens and then they be done. You gotta know how to cook them. So
You gotta boil your meat, you gotta season your meat, rinse it off.
you know what I'm
So
saying?
Wouldn't know nothing about it. I don't eat those. So I couldn't even.
so
But look, why both of y'all was like,
That's rough. That's
No, I
rough.
do not eat greens. Okay, sorry. But look, so last year, Jay has been with Chase Great for several years now. I use this as an example all the time because, in JWil's personal life, he is doing amazing things. And so I used to call Jay all the time, like, listen, I need marketing support. Like, I need you to come and help me. I don't know. And this is where the whole niche marketing came from, because Jay will come in and we'll talk about branding. We'll talk about messaging. And when I tell y'all, the Holy Spirit would he will sit me down and say, just listen, just listen to what I'm trying to share with you so that you can not always lean on the support of someone else to help you with marketing, but so that you can understand what marketing is for self. And so Jay has been, coming into Chase Great, facilitating workshops since we were in the small office
Yeah.
on the east side of Detroit. So I'm excited about the content. Last year, the 2019 conference, he was actually looking through the surveys. The attendees enjoyed his workshop the most. I don't even think I've told you that. I probably forgot. But
No,
yes, so through this,
sure.
the surveys, everyone enjoyed JWil's segment, the way that he was able to deliver the word, but deliver principle. business. It was just an amazing mixture of all things that we needed. And for those of you who are, and I like how you considered yourself a hybrid, for those of you who are still working your 9 to 5 and building your business outside of your 9 to 5, you want to be here so that you can learn, how do I still maximize this? Because as he stated, he has a podcast that is listened to all over the world. He had an amazing clothing brand still while building his business and working his 9 to 5. So if you want that type of input, if you want those strategies, not only do we have Trasetta, who's going to come in and talk about shifting your time, but we're going to have JWil come in and teach you how to merge ministry in the marketplace, but you're going to hear it firsthand from someone who's working for a Fortune 50 company. So I just absolutely love that. And I wanted to make sure, like I said, I don't think I shared with you before.
No, I appreciate it. I know.
Yeah, that they truly enjoyed your workshops, and he's always brought forth amazing training.
No, that's cool. I appreciate it.
I just like the part where he said he's going to give you 5 principles that you can literally go and apply. Like, it's the practical pieces for me that I'm like, okay, that works. So for those of you who are looking for, yes, Madonna, for those of you who want to come to this conference to understand, to have a takeaway, this is why you want to be there. You want to be there because there's going to be some takeaways. We talk about this working conference. Like he said, he's working on his material as we speak. You're going to be able to take these things up, write those things out, and then go apply. We talk about writing the vision. He's going to help you to write the vision, create the steps, and then go and apply, go execute. So you do not want to miss this conference. I'm going to give you, I told you guys earlier, we have less than 5 VIP seats available, and you don't want to miss that. You want to go to www.sixfigureshiftconference.com right now, because if you go right now, you can get the VIP registration right now for the facilitator's discount at $997. And I'm telling y'all, less than 5 spots. Toya keeps drinking out of that mug that comes in your box. You don't want to miss this conference. I am super excited. I'm super excited, guys. So listen, so we know that you have your podcast, and we know that you you work your corporate job. But what do you do outside of all of that? Outside of the business, what do you like to do outside of all of that?
Spend time with my wife for sure. My wife Tiffany is super dope, and my family. Really, other than that, I'm a pretty chill person. I like fun stuff. Like, so my thing is I need amusement. We went to Top Golf this weekend. We went throwing axes with Toya and them back in January, I think. So we like stuff like that. Take me go-karting to amusement park. Like, we need that type of fun. And we love to travel, man. We haven't obviously been able to do that. We haven't jumped the gun and did a bunch of traveling during COVID. So we've been kind of chilling out, but I'm looking forward to getting back to traveling. But really, I'm kind of the same person most of the time in different ways. I guess it's different variations of inspiring God's people. But that's really, like, I actually enjoy that. I know you said something other than that, but it's really just my family outside of that. I'm a family dude, man. But my mind is always going. So even when you say that, I'm like, dang, when am I not? For me, you got to get me out of I'm not even going to say out of the country. You just got to get me out of the state, at least, for me to turn it off. Otherwise, I'm probably always thinking of an idea, unfortunately.
I get it. That's why I travel a lot, because I need to get away. Because if I'm constantly in my element, it's like, okay, I just see these gaps and these opportunities and these problems, and like, oh, you need to be doing this, and we should be fixing this. So I definitely get it, which is why I travel very often. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I did, slide on out during COVID. I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't take it. I had to go.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad.
I had to go to the water. I had to go see some water. All right. What you over there saying on mute?
I'm not gonna sing this out loud, but let me tell y'all something. With these comments about me not eating greens, okay, pumpkins, y'all are hilarious.
Some certain cards may have to be revoked. I'm not gonna say nothing other than that. I'm just gonna ask.
Right.
I'm going to ask JWil if he could give us 20 seconds. You have the next 20 seconds to tell us why Christian female startup coaches should attend this conference.
Well, I tell y'all, just like I talked about on my podcast last week, you don't want to be a car without drive. When you think about a car, you got park, reverse, neutral, drive. Those are typically what we used to seeing. In park, all you could do is stand still, right? Nobody wants to live a life where all you could do is stand still. And you're like, okay, cool. Well, I got reverse. Well, in reverse, the only thing you could do is go back. Who wants to live a life where the only thing they could do is go back? And then somebody like, I got you though, Jay, but I got neutral though. In neutral, you can still move. That's true, but in neutral, you can only move when someone else pushes you. So those are not the best options in the world if you're in neutral and you got to always wait for somebody else. Like Toya said earlier, when it comes to marketing and branding, this conference is about you being in drive and deciding, no, I'm going to move on my own. And in order to stay in drive, you're going to need information to help you move forward. So I would say if you come here, I can say this for a fact because I've been a part of Chase Great events, to Toya's point. It's not just about me. It's about the other people. I always get something from these events. I could vouch, obviously, for Meech, for Toya. I've seen other people on the flyer and the program that I know, like Tanisha. So I know it's going to be an exciting situation. But I'm telling you, you have to bring the drive. If you are a car without drive, it ain't nothing I can tell you that's going to make you move.
So I'm done. That was it. It was that part. Wait, you said, but I got neutral still. But somebody got to push you in neutral. Come on, somebody. Listen, that was good. So listen, let me tell y'all, that was enough for you to stop what you're doing and register right now. Because if this is the I keep talking about this. If these are the pre-conference sessions, you can only imagine what content, what information these panelists are going to be bringing in the actual sessions. Because I'm definitely going to use that analogy. I'm trying to tell y'all right now, you're going to hear that again. Meech has said that it's not, we can plagiarize a little bit. No, I'm plagiarizing. I'm taking that one.
You got it. You got it.
You got to go and drive. Listen, you got to bring the drive. You cannot be a car that cannot have drive. So that was dope. All right. So that is it for my questions. It is now Toya's time to ask her surprise question.
All right.
So listen, each and every week, and you've been a part of the experience. Last year we had an amazing experience during the concluding of the conference where we pour into our registrants, we pour into our attendees. This conference is not just about shifting your business, but it's about shifting your life. It's about shifting your faith. And so, Jay, I want you to pull out your phone. Of course, give yourself some time to consult with the Holy Spirit, whatever works for you. But I want you to pull someone out of the comments, and I want you to use this time to pour into them. As I've shared before, we do this each and every year at the conference, and I'll never forget, when God instructed me to do this, I was so nervous because this is not something that we open. We do this often in the eyes of the public. You got to be called, sanctified, and Holy Ghost filled, for someone to feel like they can receive a word from someone else. And so that's one of the highlights of the conference as well, is that it's more than just business. We try to cover every aspect of your life. So we want to give JWil, over the past several weeks, each facilitator has done this exercise and they have done amazing. So you're going to go ahead again, like I said, give yourself some time, go into prayer, whatever works for you. Pull someone out of the comments and just pour into them.
Yeah, I don't know if I can find it on my phone, but I actually don't need time, believe it or not. So the one thing I would say for me is that, and this is something I live by. I talked about it a little bit with the fact of always being who you are. And so for me, I've learned that if I'm always inspiring God's people, if I'm always reading the Word of God, that I don't have to try to turn it on. I don't have to turn it off, because when you think about, in the biblical days when David needed to go fight Goliath, he couldn't turn it on and off. It's like there's a giant in front of you. So, one of the things about me being a person that I believe God is called to inspire God's people, I'm talking to everybody in the comments, to all of God's people. And I'm saying this to say like this, like some people, and this is easy to say, right? There's always some people who are hesitant. Like you always like it's always a reason to stop and to not do something. I could tell you, I wish I could say publicly exactly who the person is, but there's someone that I'm about to fire, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm about to fire them. I'm about to fire the person because I literally call it out before I get on the phone with them. And this is business related, and not in my corporate role. So I don't, again, I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I don't want to mix it up. But like what happens is every time I'm about to talk to this person, I always know that they didn't do what they said they were going to do. And even before I talk to him, when I see the phone ringing, I tell my wife, I'm like, watch this. So one day your kids was tired. The next day you were sleepy, right? And so I'm talking to all of God's people out there who keep creating excuses and reasons not to do something. And the thing is, like, I'm gonna just be real with you. Like, I'm gonna get about as raw as I've been today. I don't even really care what the feeling, like what the reason is no more. Like, cause some people, they always got a reason. And like, if that's you, if you the person is like, dang, like I always got a reason while I'm not doing something. And the reason I don't care what the reason is because it's always gonna be a reason. Do y'all know I had every excuse in the world not to be on here tonight? I told you I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. I still gotta build out some work for a presentation. I still have to record a podcast tonight. But I learned a long time ago that if you can't trust my word, you can't trust nothing. And some people, and it might be you, but here's the good thing. This is your opportunity to change it. Your word ain't worth nothing. And the thing about it is nobody else don't want to tell you that your word ain't worth nothing. But I'm going to tell you today, your word ain't been worth nothing. Nobody can depend on you. They know before you call that you're not going to do what you said you was going to do. I just released a song a couple weeks ago called Be Inspired. And the words to the song literally says, stop saying what you're going to do till you do what you said. So I'm talking to anybody out there, whether you a coach or not. Stop telling people what you're going to do. Some people right now like, I'm going to go to the conference. No, you're not. You said that last time. You just want to watch the Facebook Live because it's free and you like, whatever, I don't want to invest in myself. And I'm not even trying to sell the conference in this moment. But what I'm saying is that if you the person that keeps saying you're going to do something, and my whole thing is this, to everybody out there, don't tell nobody anything else that you're going to do until you do what you already said you was going to do. And if that's you. Be inspired.
Well, listen, I'm gonna have to go back and check off my list the stuff that I didn't said I was gonna do that I didn't do, so that I can make sure that I'm not in that category, right? I totally understand that, and I get that, and I think that that's a good word for all of us, as you stated, because we do. Some of us, and we've talked about this on the show about time. And how sometimes we may overbook our time. Sometimes we may just be flat out lazy or procrastinating. But understanding that your word is everything. And we want to make sure that we're standing in a gap of integrity. And we want to make sure that if no one else is going to believe in what we do, we have to believe. Well, the first step to you believing is showing up. The first step to you being confident is moving forward and adhering to the things that you say that you're going to do. So I absolutely love that.
Hey, look, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I promise. The thing is, people do that because they average. And I'm going to just say this. Meech hates when I say this because I call people average. But here's the thing about it. Average just means you doing what most people do. And so some of us are so comfortable. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. Let's say if it's like, oh, Toya always late, so I'm comfortable with being late. Mm-hmm. Oh, Toya be lying and saying she on her way, so I'm comfortable because I hang around Toya. You feel what I'm saying? And some of us got to let go of average. Like the reason I want to fire this person is because she's so average. She's so good that she don't want to be great. And I say it all the time. Some people like, let me just say this. Good is good, y'all. If I'm being real with you, it's like, sometimes I'm like, man, you crazy. Why you doing all this? Like, you good. And that's the thing. Like, some people taste good, and good just becomes a reason to not be great. And that's why some people are always saying what they're going to do, because they're like, I'm good. I can lie. I can be late because I got money. I could be late because it is. Like, no, money, it don't mean that you have integrity. So the whole point is average people, that's how they act. And it's not until you decide that I'm done with being average. Stop being so good that you don't want to be great. You have to literally decide that I'm going to be great. I'm done.
Nah, because sometimes good just ain't good enough. Like, that's what it is. You're not done. It's okay though. You're gonna come back in a second. No, because I mean I'm listening to you and I'm just like I'm feeling like Toya, like, well, I have a long list, but I'm working on it though. But that is an excuse. No, but I'm working on it. No. But no, I understand wholeheartedly what you're saying because you get comfortable in just doing what you're doing. You get content. And may not just necessarily, I know you said me don't like the average, but you are comfortable and content with where you are, that you feel like this is okay, this is enough. I'm okay right where I'm at. And it's like that's not where you're supposed to be though. That's not really what he has for you. That's not the desires that's not the things that he wants you to have. So you gotta go harder and you gotta go deeper because good ain't always good enough.
Yeah, and if you think about it though, God didn't make us to be good enough. He didn't, or to be good. I'm sorry. He didn't make us to be average. We were created in his image. Like this man came and started cutting on lights and making water and making animals. Like he just started doing all these miraculous things in 6 days. There's nothing average about that. So why do we think if we were created in his image, if we were created in the likeness of him, why is it that we're okay with being average when we know that we've been given something better? But in order to be extraordinary or to be above average, it requires work. And everyone is not ready to face the work and the responsibility that comes behind being more than average.
Yeah, you talking about a six-figure conference. Like, you want to manage six figures and like you can't manage $60. It's not like this the whole thing. I'm for real. Like it's like some of the stuff, like, and this is where I get to talking and it sound worse than like I mean it literally though. Like, bro, like if you haven't mastered $60, $600, $6,000, like $60,000, 80,000, like what you gonna do with six figures? That don't even make sense. And so some of us have to let go of our emotions and realize that the Bible literally says, to whom much is given, much is required. So my whole thing is like, this is a conference, like people will see the six figure and think it's a conference about getting, but it's really a conference about like, what are you willing to give? Like at the end of the day, oh, if six figures, I'm sure one day Toya gonna do a seven figure. And it's like, really, as the numbers go up, it's gonna get harder. Even when you think about playing a video game as a kid, the next level of Candy Crush is harder than the last level. But we keep thinking in life somehow the next level mean it get easier. It means no, there's going to be more that you have to manage, but you can't get there until you master the level you at. And so many of us are just romanticizing the next level, thinking it's going to mean that life is mysteriously easier. But it's like, no, it don't work like that, bro. You got to be willing to give up some more. At the end of the day, you got to give up more to get more. That's just how life works.
Absolutely. I say all the time, what are you willing to sacrifice to gain everything that you've ever desired? Because getting what you desire and not sacrificing it doesn't work hand in hand. The Bible says to delight yourself in him and he'll give you the desires of your heart. But to delight yourself in him, you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to remove some things from your life. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to be mad, if you have to wake up at 6 or 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning to go into prayer before you go to work or whatever the case may be. But what are you willing to sacrifice to gain everything that you've ever desired?
You know what? Okay. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Look, and I'm about to be done, Jasmin. Don't play with me. Here's the thing. I'm just thinking about the Mr. Miyagi thing from earlier, right? And here's the thing about Mr. Miyagi and Daniel's son in the Karate Kid movie. Like, the thing is, Daniel came in to Mr. Miyagi to learn karate, right? He wanted to learn karate. Mr. Miyagi had Daniel washing cars, waxing on, waxing off, painting the fence, and doing all of this. And at some point, Daniel got frustrated with the process. And the reason that he got frustrated is because he didn't understand the little things that Mr. Miyagi was telling him to do. It's like, bro, you got me washing your car. You got me doing this. This was, look, pause right here. This was Mr. Miyagi showing him how to maximize the 60,000, the 30,000, like maximize where you at, because we have a Daniel mentality. We want to come in and just like we want to just come in and know karate off real. Like, bro, show me that. Like, show me when y'all do that. Like, and the problem is we start skipping the process. You got to learn the little things, right? And this is one of my favorite parts of the movie. Daniel gets so frustrated because he's like, I want you to teach me karate. And Mr. Miyagi comes and they have this interaction where Mr. Miyagi is like, watch the car, wax on, wax off. And he's trying to hit him. And here's what's crazy. Daniel is now realizing I know karate. He's been teaching me the whole time. The reason that sometimes we got to take a step back and come to a conference like this and actually learn some of the steps is because we've been moving so fast. I promise you, you're going to come here and realize it's some things that you already know. We just got to show you that you know it. Some of y'all know karate because you've been washing cars and painting fences, and you just haven't been able to make the connection that, oh, this is part of my gift. We're talking about shifting your ministry and all this stuff. It's like, there are some skills and talents you learn just from like growing up in the hood, for instance. It's like, man, you grow up in the hood and navigate through that. You pretty much Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible. Like, you just don't know, like, you a secret agent, bro. You made it through the hood, through gangs. Like, you didn't get robbed. Like, you ain't get jumped. Like, and you like, yes, you are a secret agent. So there's some things you know, some skills you have, and sometimes somebody got to bring them out of you.
And that's exactly why this is a working conference. This is not one of them conferences that you're going to sit down, because we're going to show you, just like what you just said, how there are some things that you already know. You just got to learn how to put it together and follow the steps. And I knew you weren't done. It's okay. You didn't have to tell me. I knew when we started talking, you weren't going to be done. But no, I need you to interrupt as often as you feel led to interrupt. But that's what it's about. That's why we're doing it the way. That's why Toya is setting this up to be a working conference, so that you can actually learn how to take what you already know, take the things that we're going to be telling you that you may not know, and then you're going to be able to go put the work in and learn how to karate. I can't do the tutorial. I can't do all that, but you're going to learn how to do that because you've been waxing on and waxing off, and then you've been painting that fence with that right motion. So we're going to show you how to take those strokes that you've been doing and then using them and apply them. That's what we're going to show you how to do.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. I love it. So listen, really quick, let's go ahead. One of the highlights of the conference that, of course, I want to make sure I share with you before we close out, because we can talk about this all night. And so, again, being a part of the 3-day experience, we are rocking out starting Thursday, May 13th, Friday, May 14th. Yes, it is all day Friday from 9 a.m. to, I don't even know what time it ends, to the end. But all day Friday, and then Saturday afternoon. So we'll be rocking out Saturday morning through, I think we'll be done around 2 or 3. So do know that this 3-day experience is not going to be you just sitting back washing dishes with your headphones on. That's not what this is going to be. You're going to need to be stationed so that you can write, so that you can apply. One of the benefits as well with our VIP registrants, keep in mind we have less than 5 tickets or seats available for the VIP. You will have access to the replay for up to 12 months. So that's a bonus in itself, that you'll be able to go back through the content, dissect the content, and really get a clear understanding of how to apply the content to your business. You'll also have access to each one of the facilitators with their lead magnets and additional support, just in case you want to reach out with and work with them outside of this 3-day experience. So one of the things we're going to do during the conference is the pitch your power statement. And again, for those of you, if you are not familiar with Chase Great's power statement, it is what the industry may consider an elevator pitch. I want to help you master your message. We call it a power statement because your power is in your words. And I want to help you be able to stand boldly, courageously, and with confidence, saying who you are and sharing my 4-step formula. You got to make sure you come to the conference so I can teach you that 4-step formula, but knowing who you are as a coach so that you can stand out as the expert. This is going to be a pitch your power statement competition. I still haven't found another word to say other than competition, but it's a competition where you're going to come up, you're going to pitch your power statement. And yes, I'm going to teach you how to create a powerful power statement, and we're going to practice it and we're going to work on it. So don't worry, we're not going to just throw y'all out here. But we want you to make sure that this is together, because this is how you enroll clients. Knowing who you are and the problem that you solve, when you're able to deliver that with confidence, this is how you're able to enroll clients. So I want you to make sure you're present for the Pitch Your Power Statement. The winner of this portion, they will one of the things that they're going to receive is a live interview with a business strategist, Beverly Walthour, where her radio show airs in Atlanta. You're going to be able to share your power statement with over 30,000 listeners. Like, that's a bonus in itself. Not only is the power statement an amazing bonus, but I want you to think about the value of the conference. This conference is valued, I think we came up with a new number, Jazz.
It was like 20,000.
Like 20,000. Tanisha said that you're not even getting on her books for less than 10. So we have to double the number right there. So we're at minimum 20,000 of the type of value that this experience is going to bring. So of course, I want to highlight one last time another amazing registrant, Miss Alicia George. I absolutely love her. She is a vision coach. This is the first time that I've had the opportunity to connect and work with another vision coach. So I'm excited about her being a part of the conference. Not only is she a vision coach, but she's a whole apostle. Okay, she be out here ministering the word of God while running her business, while laying hands and all type of stuff. So I absolutely love it. And I wanted to share that because for those of you who are pastors, those of you who are in ministry, you feel like you can't make money in the marketplace because of your ministerial position. Listen, Miss Alicia has been in the community. I'm talking about bringing in clients like never before. She told us the other day, she said, I signed a new client today, but y'all know that's just what I do. And the way she said it, she just brushed past it like it wasn't a big deal. It was absolutely hilarious. So listen, again, thank you, Vision Coach Alicia, for making the decision to take your coaching business from start to six figures in your niche. All right, Jay, I think I'm done.
Hey, I love it, man. Put me in, coach. That's what I'm gonna be saying around all y'all coaches. Like, put me in, coach.
Put me in the game.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it, man. I love rocking with y'all always. So I definitely appreciate y'all.
Cool. Jazz?
Okay, yeah. I'm like, Jay, which Jay? All right.
Oh, my bad.
Nope, you good.
It's okay.
Okay.
So listen, no. We're all set. I'm just going to ask that you go ahead and close this out. I mean, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. If you're watching the replay, let us know you're watching the replay. Give us a hashtag replay in the comments if you're watching us. Make sure you go ahead and register for the conference again. I think this has been another awesome conversation. You guys have been able to literally see and meet all of our panelists and understand that they are not just talking it, but they're walking it. They're actually doing what they're going to show you how to do. So you don't want to miss it. I'm going to have to talk to Toya about my role as the concierge and how I can get in these sessions, though, because I don't really know how I feel about this no more. But no, we're going to be good. I can't wait to see you guys there. Mr. JWil, will you go ahead and just close us out?
Yo, am I closing y'all out with words? That's cool. That's what we doing. Final thoughts or something? Hey, I'll tell y'all like this. If you enjoyed this, then you'll love my podcast. You can check out Inspire God's People. It's easy. It's on Apple Podcasts. So if you got Apple Podcasts, just type in Inspire God's People, and you can check it out. We release new shows every single Wednesday, no matter what. Guess what? Midnight. Yes, there is a podcast coming out at midnight tonight. Do I know what it's about yet? No. Am I going to try to get this audio from this show? Yes, if it's possible. And I'm going to probably add something to it. But no, check that out, man. Look, we're going to have an amazing time at this conference. I appreciate the opportunity every time I can connect and talk to anyone. So I appreciate everybody who listened tonight. And also check out my music, man, on Apple Music. It's JWil Music. That's just JWil Music. It's all one word. But yeah, enough about me, man. I've had a great time tonight. And I got to get back to a whole bunch of work that I'm dreading, but it's gonna get done.
Absolutely.
Cool, cool. So have a fantastic night. Make sure you join us on this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Meet us here as we talk with finance coach Ciara Ivy of the Ivy League. Listen, I have an amazing testimony to share about Ciara. So I'm excited about rocking out with her on this coming Thursday as she's going to come and deliver some great nuggets on how to get your life. As JWil just said, you can't be trying to become a six-figure earner and you don't know how to manage your $600. Like, let's go ahead and let's learn how to get our money mindsets together. That's number one. And then number two, let's learn how to apply the proper strategy so that we too can build generational wealth. I was just thinking really quickly. I'm over nickel and diamond. I'm over trying to figure out, $100 or $200. Like, that's not even the mindset that I'm in anymore. I'm ready to figure out, how do I come up with this 50,000 so I can go buy this property? How do I come up with this 100,000 so I can buy this property? And let those words just flow off my tongue. Like, 100,000 is nothing. 50,000 is nothing. Let's learn how to use money for what it's supposed to be intended for, instead of hoarding it,
Hoarding. Yeah.
hoarding it, and not doing or investing and using it for what it's designed to. So we'll see you on Thursday. Thank you so much for rocking out with us. Make sure you set your alarms and be blessed.
All right, y'all.